Welcome to the NBA Pub Hub on Pub Sports Radio. It is Tuesday, October 19th. It is opening night of the NBA season, and we are fired up. TNT doubleheader. You can't get better than what we've got tonight. A playoff rematch, Brooklyn, Milwaukee, Golden State, LA Lakers, doubleheader to get the NBA season rolling, and fired up to talk about it here with Dutch Boy Fresh, TROT Wham, and Billy Briz joining us today.
Billy.
He's sitting in for Ski, the slacker, as we like to call him sometimes. Before we start, Ski the slacker. That's got a nice little ring to it, but don't tell him I said that. But nevertheless, Tuesday NBA opening night card, fired up for it. Let's dive right into it. We got Brooklyn, Milwaukee playoff rematch from a thrilling series last year in the playoffs between the Nets and the Bucks. We got currently Milwaukee 1.5-point home favorites here as they raise the banner, get the ring ceremony, the whole bit as defending NBA champions. Total 233.5 in this game. Obviously, we're looking at a starting lineup minus Kyrie Irving as the circus invades Brooklyn regarding him. Not a shocker with that. So it looks like for them tonight, they're going to have a starting five with James Harden, Joe Harris in the backcourt, Bruce Brown, Kevin Durant, LaMarcus Aldridge, rounding out the starting five on paper tonight for the on paper is what we expect the starting five to be for the Milwaukee Bucks. It's not delivery. It's DiVincenzo and Bobby Portis are their two biggest absences for the game tonight. Other than that, pretty much it's all hands on deck. I don't count Rodney Hood as a big-time absence for the Bucks because he can't stay healthy half the time anyway. So it's, we're used to that with him. We've got Drew Holiday, Grayson Allen, Chris Middleton, Giannis, and Brook Lopez as the starting five projected here tonight for the Milwaukee Bucks in this game. I don't really have a strong, convincing opinion on this game, at least from a side or a totals perspective. We've definitely seen the total come down big time. 240.5 down to 233, 233.5. Is where the total is. And when I look at last year with these two teams, especially early in the playoff series, we had those high totals and every game just kept staying under the total. And then we really didn't get over the total in a game until the last game of the series, which went to overtime when the total was 215.5. And even then you needed overtime to cash that game over the total. So for opening night, it does seem like a very high total. We know it's two teams that are offensively capable, push pace, obviously. But they're also two very capable defensive basketball teams. So I understand why the totals come down. I would lean Brooklyn here at the plus of 1.5, but I don't feel strongly about it. And to be honest with you, the fade the defending champion in their ring ceremony night at home hasn't been that winning angle that it's been many years ago. We've seen the defending champs perform a lot better in this home opener. So not really involved in the game from a side or a totals perspective. Props-wise, though, there's a couple things that I'm interested in. When you look at this Brooklyn Nets team, I'm going to jump right away on a guy like Patty Mills for this team, over 8.5 points. And the reason why is I like guys to come in on a new team, make an impact, be excited to be in the spot that I'm sure he's in, going into this game, joining this Brooklyn Nets team, championship contender. And I think you're going to see him play well early on. And if you can find it, there's a prop that you can bet at DraftKings and a couple other books going into, and there's a bunch of books that have this, but you can bet, who's going to have the most points in the game tonight. And I think that's going to be Kevin Durant, the highest in this game tonight. I know Giannis, you can make a case for him. In fact, I think he's the betting favorite to be the top point scorer tonight in the game, but this is Durant time. It's Durant that, basically tried to will Brooklyn to that series win last year in the playoffs before they fell short, did everything in his power. And I think he has a big opening night game against this Bucks team tonight. So I think there's some value there. Kevin Durant to be the leading scorer in the game tonight, which you can get at a little bit of a plus price here in this game tonight. So very much interested in that prop as well. We'll turn it over now to Dutch and start with him here. What do you think, Nets, Bucks?
All right, real quick. Appreciate everybody in the chat for the birthday wishes. My guy Shark, Maxwell, Smart, everybody in there. I appreciate y'all, man. If everybody take a minute, hit the motherfucking like button, just like I'm hitting this plane of Orange 43. man, shit get you right where you need to be. I promise you. But yeah, man, much love. Salute to all the motherfuckers in the chat. It's all love, everybody out
Happy
there.
birthday, my friend. Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Just getting, hey, we don't get older, we get wiser. God damn it. You know what I mean?
Better.
We got Billy out here. This motherfucker just turned 21. Nah. fresh though, fresh. To be 21 again, what I would do. It's a beautiful thing though. Yeah, man. But yeah, when it comes to this game, hey, to be honest with you, I really only can look Brooklyn here. I'm heavy on the prop market. If y'all follow me on Twitter, I hit y'all last night. BetMGM was slipping. They had James Harden assist over 8.5 minus 120. It was 150 everywhere else and went to minus 220. Was 9.5 minus 140 today. So it was on there for a cool minute too. So that to me is the best bet. Obviously, was on the board. It's not there no more. I do have Joe Harris. I like what I see from him. I believe he hit 17 of 23 3-pointers. I know it's preseason, but the fact is he's finding his stroke. We know he kind of finished not on the highest note against Milwaukee last year, kind of realistically choked in the playoffs, especially towards the end. He's one of the, if not the best shooter in the game. I know we'll say he's one of the top tier shooters in the game from a 3-point aspect, especially from a catch and shoot aspect, wide open shots. You got James Harden and Kevin Durant on this court. I'm telling you, man, he's just got to hit the open J. I believe he will. Over 2.5 threes, easy money. It's at even money too. I love that look. And like I mentioned, I believe he got a little chip on his shoulder because he didn't finish very strong towards the end of the season. And I think personally, Brooklyn has, a chip on their shoulder. I believe they got better with the additions. Of Paul Millsap off the bench. I really like what they did as a team. My knock on these guys last year was simply they have all these studs, but no fit players. They kept Bruce Brown, who I really like as a fit player. They went and got, Bembry, however the fuck you say his name, from Toronto. I like this dude as a defensive cat. Also like, Carter from Phoenix. Guys they can put in and play some defense. Just all around, I think they got a little more chippy. James Johnson, speaking of chippy, they bring a tough guy in. I just think they're more of a basketball team now. And then on the other aspect, the Milwaukee, they lose fucking the PJ Tucker, the tough guy. They lose him. This game, Bobby Portis won't be there. I believe that's going to be a big loss. I actually like the addition of Rodney Hood, but obviously he won't be out there. But you're right, he can't stay healthy. But I think when healthy, he'll be a nice piece. But personally, I just think this is a Brooklyn spot. I really like KD over 30.5. You touched on it. That to me is easy money, minus 105. You can lay a little bit of juice at 29.5 and minus 125, I believe. I know our guy Sharpie likes that play a lot. But KD, he going for 35 plus easy. He don't have to deal with PJ Tucker no more. I mean, you tell me. I like Giannis from an offensive perspective too, but I really like the Joe Harris over 2.5 threes. I think Brooklyn wins this game easy. Now, I don't want to say easy, but I don't believe that they'll be contested really in this game. I think they'll have a cool 6 to 8 point lead from start to finish.
All right, there we go. Dutch with liking Brooklyn, liking a bunch of those props. I like the Durant over 30.5 points too. I just think the top point score at a plus price. I like that a lot because I think he'll score a lot, and I think he can beat Giannis and be the leading scorer in this game. At that prop that's available at a couple books was definitely
what's the plus money on that, Ian?
Plus 155, Kevin Durant.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. The only thing I actually like Giannis tonight too. They have nothing to really go with him still. They didn't bring anyone in defensively to stop Giannis. So I mean, I think he could still get his. But yeah, that's a good look. Plus 155 might be worth that. Yeah,
they're neck and neck. Favorite and co-favorite to be the top point scorer tonight. Giannis and Kevin Durant in the prop market for leading point scorer in this game tonight. Maybe look at Grayson Allen too. New addition, of course, to the. I always like these spots in all sports. Early regular season, you got a player that's new to a team, wants to make an impact right away. With a couple guys out like Hood and DiVincenzo for the Bucks, that's going to give Grayson Allen more opportunity to get volume shooting going tonight. So maybe him over 10.5 points. Is something to look at as well. I'm very interested in that prop as well for the Bucks. Grayson Allen over that 10.
Yeah, real quick, Ian, I did want to mention I'm a little loaded, but yeah, he averaged 43 KD last 3 games against Milwaukee. Last 3 games averaged 43. We know he was shown out, but it just wasn't game. For game 6 or 7, he did it at the end. 43 a game the last 3 versus Milwaukee.
Yeah, and obviously, look, you still got Harden and Harris, and you've got lots of options, but obviously no Irving. No Irving still means you're going to get more opportunities to shoot as well if you're Kevin Durant. Trot Wham, what do you think here, Brooklyn, Milwaukee?
I kind of feel the same way you guys feel. It's ceremony night. It's kind of something that I don't want to jump in front of right there. I mean, you've seen the Lakers. Actually, I think the Lakers lost last time, and this is another short turnaround for the Bucks. A lot of guys from Olympics on this team. You know what I mean? Like a lot of guys, like even the kid Jordan Nwora from the Nigeria. He was on the Nigeria team. A lot of these guys was playing Olympic hoops. So it's a short turnaround for this team. I think that that's going to haunt them early on. I don't want to jump in, on the Bucks here, but I think they're going to be good. Let's talk about Giannis. Giannis with the little extra skill set. Maybe he needs a stop and go badge on 2K. I mean, he's looking pretty good with his jumper. So if he can continue to play well like that, it is going to be scary. I think Ian talked about that as well. But let's go ahead and just say this here. I don't think that the Brooklyn Nets are going to be missed without Kyrie. I think they're going to miss Kyrie, as a brother. You know what I mean? But as far as being able to score, I think they're still going to be able to score. I wouldn't bet this total under either, but I would lean there. But I would just stay away from this game. In my opinion, I would stay away from this game unless you're taking KD over 29.5 points. I think that KD is the way to go. I'm going that route. I already locked it in. That's the only way here. Just KD over 29.5 points. I think he's going to continue to ball. Like you guys said, he's just going to continue to show his hand here. And that's how I think this is going to play out.
All right. Like in Kevin Durant, we're pretty much all looking at that direction one way or another. Kevin Durant to have a big night. Billy Briz, good to have you with us here today. He'll be with us Tuesdays and Thursdays all season here on the Pub Up. What do you like tonight?
Man, I hate to ruin the parade, but I think this is a Harden spot. If you look at the usage rating last season, when Kyrie Irving was off the floor, Durant averaged 33.5 usage rating, averaging 1.6 fantasy points per game. When you look at Harden, his usage rating led the team with 34.9%, and he averaged 1.75 fantasy points per minute. And I think, honestly, recency bias, we think Kevin Durant because that's what we're last memory of that game. But in reality, if you look at the regular season production and the assist percentage hovering around 53.9%, James Harden is going to go over on his assist prop pretty easily. The books kind of fucked up, like Dutch said. They opened it up at 8.5, and as soon as it opened it up, it got slammed over to 9.5. I didn't even get a chance to bet it. I think the more interesting question is what's going to happen with these secondary options on the Brooklyn Nets. I like the points, rebounds, and assists with Joe Harris. I like the over on that. That's more of a lean than an actual bet. He averaged, without Kyrie on the floor in 17 games, he averaged 20.6 points, rebounds, and assists. And the over-under tonight, 16.5. So he would hit the over 14 out of 17 games without Kyrie on the floor. He should be one of the highest owned FanDuel players tonight for the daily fantasy players out there in the world. But like you said, Babano, Patty Mills coming off the bench, he's going to soak in that Karis LeVert, Spencer Dinwiddie bench usage. But my real question is that I'm really watching for is what are they doing with this front court? In the preseason and a couple of dress rehearsals, we saw Blake Griffin out there. We saw Aldridge out there. We even saw Nick Claxton in the last game. And to be honest with you, if I had to go straight off of talent, I think talent-wise, Nick Claxton's probably the best out of all of them, but he probably won't get the most amount of minutes. Maybe I'm wild. Maybe I've been smoking too much weed. I don't know. But when you look over at the Bucks side, I think this should be a Giannis smash spot, but the books know that too. So you can't really play Giannis like that. Like you said, though, I remember we're sitting here last year, or I should say over the summer, and we're talking about Pat Connaughton's minutes. Dog, I don't know if Pat Connaughton's going to play 30 to 35 minutes ever again, like he did because he ran hot during the playoffs. But like you said, a sneaky name. The Grayson Allen, they got him off of a bargain deal, and they signed him to a contract extension before he even stepped up on the court for a regular season game. So that shows that the team is really high in Grayson Allen. His average career three-point percentage throughout the 2 years he's played in the NBA is 39.5% from the three-point line. I think a sneaky guy to talk about on this team, though, without Bobby Portis being on this team, if you play the Olympics, you know about the dude. If you played NBA preseason, you know about my dude. Jordan Nwora, he's going to be bare minimum price on DraftKings and FanDuel tonight. His minutes are really hard to project, so I don't know if I'm going to have a prop on him, but he's going to be passing the eye test for me because I think we get a lot of value on him early in the season. Bobby Portis is going to be out for a couple of weeks. Jordan Nwaba is going to absolutely smash in 12 to 18 minutes if that's the floor. His fantasy point per minute last year was 1.3, while that's a little bit absurd because that's most of the blowout run. That just shows the type of upside that he has. Ideally, though, I kind of went a little bit more chalky. It's opening night for this game. I played James Harden over 6.5 rebounds at -145. I think that's a really low number. I actually have James Harden projected for a triple-double tonight, so I threw on the double-double at -155. And first triple-double call of the year, we're taking James Harden triple-double plus 350. That's way too high. At the end of the year, it was damn near even money.
Right.
So on opening night, we're going to get paid right. We're going to ladder James Harden essentially because for him to hit the double-double and the triple-double, he's going to have to get over 6.5. So first ladder of the year on opening night, James Harden over 6.5 rebounds, double-double, and triple-double to fix the closing line value.
Fuck around and got a triple-double. Yeah,
plus 450 I'm seeing in some spots too with that triple-double on James Harden. So there's some definitely good price. Make sure you shop around on that. And Billy, great point about Grayson Allen and the fact the Bucks really like him a lot because you don't go out and sign that contract extension with him if you don't really think highly of him. And I think because they feel that way, you're going to see a good amount of minutes for him, and it's certainly going to help from a prop standpoint with him. I think at the beginning of the year, I think they're going to give him all the room in the world that he wants to really show what he can do for this Milwaukee Bucks team.
I do got to say, Ian, the more I mean, nothing against the props. Like I'm sure his props would do fine, but the more Grayson Allen I see out on the court, the more fucking better I'll feel about my Nets bet. Believe that. Come on, man. Grayson Allen's a fucking bum. Come on, man. Like they paid him way too much. The talent that the Nets got out there, fucking, you can play Grayson Allen 40 fucking minutes. Please do.
I think that Jordan kid for sure proved
Jordan
himself
Laura,
against
yes.
the Olympic team. That's the reason why they lost. The USA lost
to Nigeria.
He had his hands all on that. So you bringing that up, he could play a lot of minutes, honestly.
He was stroking it too.
I watched him 15, 20, 30 points in the preseason.
Yeah, I watched that game, Ian. I was like, man, who's this kid?
I think the over-under is pretty interesting as well. The over-under, because I play a lot of daily fantasy more than anything else. The over-under opened up at 237.5, and immediately sports bettors slammed the under, and they dropped 5 points. Granted, it's still the highest over-under on the board today, but if you look at the spot for James Harden, granted, dude, I get it. KD's a great player and all that. But with the Bucks being second on the league last year for pace, it just seems like a good game environment for James Harden to do James Harden things. He's healthy now.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
He's going to do his thing. He's definitely going to do his thing for sure.
I think he covers the over 8.5 in the first half for assists. Like, he might just go off.
Yeah, I love that. I love that assist. Like, he going to average 10 assists a game, no problem all year, easy.
Yeah, still 9.5 minus 140.
Bet for MVP this year.
Yeah, I would probably slide more with the double-double or look at the rebounds and assists. You could get a decent number on the
Russell Westbrook triple-double regular season guy. You never know.
He's way more prolific than that dude. That's for sure. God damn.
Rebounds and assists, by the way, James Harden is 16.5 out of around minus 1.
Yeah. See, I would probably go that way than drop 10 on the assist.
At that point, you might as well play the double-double at minus 150. I mean, at minus 145. Because if he hits the over on the assist, bro, if James Harden doesn't get 10 points, Brooklyn's getting blown off the court. So the double-double.
But you like the rebounds, though. You dropped 145 on the rebounds, no?
Nah, I dropped 145 on the rebounds. Yeah. I dropped 145.
So the rebounds and assists is like 110, 115, right? The juice?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad.
At that point, you could just hit the triple-double and just ladder. The triple-double's at 350, 450 in some spots.
Yeah,
that's absurd.
Yeah, that's some tequila money and get it.
Yeah, tequila money. Yeah, drinking money, booze money.
Yeah,
for no matter what type of booze, everybody's different with their booze preference, but booze money. That's what it's going to be. Winning all these cash tonight. All right, second game of the TNT doubleheader. Warriors, come out and play. Warriors and the Lakers here. We got the Lakers 3.5-point home favorites at Staples, 226 the total. I'm on GSW here at plus the points in this game. It's not that I hate the Lakers. It's just I don't think the Lakers are going to be at their best in game 1, game 2, or game 3 of the season. It's going to be, I think a little bit of a work in progress. The things I'm reading from Anthony Davis and even Frank Vogel about, hey, we got a lot of new faces this year. Things aren't going to be, chemistry's not going to be at where we want it to be right away. it's going to take this group some time. And, I definitely agree with that. When you look at the changes that have been made with this Lakers team, the new faces that are in there, now having a new starting point guard, Russell Westbrook, of course, this year, all of that is going to take some time. You just don't all of a sudden after a 3-week span of training camp and preseason, I think, just roll out onto the basketball court tonight in the first regular season game and look, at your best. And I think that's going to be the difficult thing here for the Lakers. You do get concerned the Warriors can get beat up in the paint a little bit. James Wiseman is still not ready to go for the Warriors to begin the season. The glass is going to be their issue potentially tonight in this game. But if they can hold their own there, relatively speaking, even with Wiseman out, get Green in there on the glass. They do at least have Kayvon Looney ready to go starting at the starting 5 spot here tonight for the Warriors, which is good to see. A situation where he was banged up a little bit throughout the course of last year. And Eric Chang's reading my script or my notes or something, because he's basically mentioned a prop that I'm already on tonight. And there you go. Gave it away. But yeah, and I'll mention it now since Eric's mentioned it in the chat. It's Russell Westbrook's first game as starting point guard with a new team, new people to work with on the basketball court. And with his propensity to turn the basketball over and treat it like a hand grenade, you got to expect there's going to be some growing pains in that regard for Russell Westbrook. And DraftKings DK has Russell Westbrook turnovers 3.5. How do you not look over the 3.5 turnovers here with Westbrook in this first game tonight? I absolutely agree. It's one of my favorite props tonight in either of the two games, to be honest with you, here tonight. I think there's going to be that natural progression for him where there's just going to be some sloppiness with the basket. He's sloppy with the basketball with guys he's played with for 2-3 years. Can you imagine tonight now with a Laker team for the first time, new teammates around him, how things could go in terms of his ball security, if you will, and taking care of it? I don't think it's going to be very easy in that regard for Russell Westbrook tonight. For Golden State, I think Jordan Poole, I'm excited to see what he can do playing alongside Steph Curry in that backcourt for Golden State. Very excited to see what those two can do. And look, I think he's going to be a guy that can hold the fort there a little bit until Klay Thompson comes back. We had the Wiggins saga with the vaccine, which got cleared up, unlike the Kyrie situation in Brooklyn. But no, I think this Golden State team, obviously I think they're going to be an improved squad this year. And, are they ready to contend in the West? I'm not so sure. But tonight in this spot with all the new faces on the Lakers, I'm comfortable tonight taking 3.5 with Golden State in this game. And as I mentioned, I like the Russell Westbrook over 3.5 turnovers prop. It's one of my favorite props on this board tonight. And why not go on the first game of the year against the ballyhooed Lakers? I bet this guy to win the MVP this year in the show yesterday. I mentioned that. And I'm going to take him over his point total tonight. The chef, you know who I'm talking about, Steph Curry. Over 34.5 tonight, because I think this guy, big year on tap for him for Golden State. And obviously he knows without Klay, even though I like Poole, going to have to shoulder a lot of the offensive load. So that's what I like. Those two props and Golden State plus the points tonight against the Lakers. Dutch, what do you think here? Warriors, Lakers.
Yeah, so that turnover prop does sound pretty good. I can't lie. But I actually got one bet so far on this game, and it is Russ. And it's over 17.5 rebounds and assists. I really like this. I mean, yeah, he's going to have the ball the whole time. He's going to go. He's going to go. One thing I know that's going to be working is the motor. He's going to go. So I expect him to get double-digit rebounds. He's going to be moving he's going to have the ball in his hands to make plays. He's got to do it. I actually expect him to be better than we expect and what we've seen in the preseason. He's from LA, man. He wants to show out for his home. I look for this game to be a little more important to the Lakers than people think as like a regular season game usually would be. And like I mentioned yesterday, I'm high on the Warriors, but I'm high on the Warriors when Klay comes back, when Wiseman's there. I like Wiseman as a young talent when he's in the lineup. I also seen that Draymond Green and Wiggins are on a minutes restriction. That doesn't sound too good to me. I do like Jordan Poole, but you're going to play LA at home. Mad, the way that the season ended, to me, LeBron looks like he's ready to fucking go. I mean, I'm looking him out there. He looks like he's in shape, bro. Like, I expect him to be on point. The one thing I do worry about is obviously from an injury aspect there. They have a lot of them. And I mentioned it yesterday. Like, I was looking for a shooter down on that fucking bench. I think Monk's going to be back. I think Nunn's going to be back. Those guys can knock down shots, man. They're going to be wide the fuck open when you got, LBJ and Russ moving around. Also, AD, I got Ray Charles. Shout out to him. He was on it this morning. I see as long, like I mentioned, as long as this motherfucker don't get a bump, because that's the only knock I got on AD is he's fragile as fuck. So that's why I smirk when you say a future bet on AD. I'm like, damn, you walking on out on the edge on that one, bro.
For sure, I am. Huh?
That stuff luck, so you already know. But damn, this motherfucker stubbed his toe. He's out 2 weeks. But I root for the guy. 24.5 should be easy money. I think you might if you can get better than that, get it, because he's gonna get his attempts. He's the best shooter on the court with the starting five. I want him shooting the ball every damn time down there. To be honest with you, let either LBJ or Russ go to the hole, get a foul, or kick it out. But run the offense through AD. But yeah, I like the over 17.5. I expect the Warriors, to be in the game, shoot some threes, might even have a lead. But when it comes down to it, I look for the Lakers to get that W. I don't know if I'm going to lay. I hope I get a 3, but I might just wait. And I think around third, fourth quarter is when the Lakers are going to turn it up a little bit. And we're going to see that. I think the Lakers can play some really good D, especially if they play a little bit more Dwight Howard than DeAndre. I don't know about no DeAndre Jordan. But yeah, I think this is a bigger game than normal for the Lakers LBJ regular season type of status. So I wouldn't bet against the Lakers tonight.
Well, lean to the Lakers is what we'll say here for Dutch in this one. Yeah, I agree with you. The bet for the Golden State Warriors for me tonight is not, the Lakers don't care about this game or they're not interested. They will be. I just think the chemistry is going to be fucked up tonight. And it's going to take at least a couple of games for things to gel and things to come together for this Laker group. And by the way, you mentioned some of those injuries I mentioned Thompson and Weissman. They're not back tonight. And obviously Thompson's still for a while. Weissman's going to miss some time as well. But for the Lakers, Malik Monk is going to play. He's been upgraded to probable. Kendrick Nunn is still questionable. But like you said, Dutch, it wouldn't shock me to see him.
He's been practicing.
It's Ariza's out for sure. Ellington's out. And Talon Horton-Tucker, of course, who gave him some good minutes at times last year for the Lakers. He's out as well. So they are a little shorthanded, the Lakers. We'll see if they can power through it here in game 1 of the season tonight. Trot Wham, what do you think here, Warriors-Lakers?
Yeah, I have my near dear to my heart bet here. And honestly, I feel like it's the same way you're looking here going with the MVP. I think that's the same way I'm going. I took AD over 23.5 and also 24.5 at plus money points over the total there for the AD. Like you said, Dutch, when I heard the news, I had really made it official play about the minutes restrictions for Draymond Green. It's kind of the only person I was really worried about him guarding AD. Other than that, he should be getting spoon-fed here with Rondo. Every time Rondo's on the floor, he's looking for AD, as he should. And I think that's what you're going to see from Russ here as well, without him just continuing to attack. I think he didn't attack at all until the last game, when they kind of seemed like they were going to play really well. They pulled the guys out. So he really wasn't attacking until that point in the preseason. So I think that him attacking is going to be a lot better for this team when they're really playing real games. So I think that's what's going to see. The over turnovers, what Ian said, man, I'm still thinking about that. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
That sounds real good, because the Lakers, I mean, just in general, they were bad turnovers last year. I think that you will see them being the same way. This is what they're doing in preseason. So I think the same way there. But AD is the only play that I locked in on this game. I don't want to take the Lakers, even though I do agree with Dutch. I think the Lakers is a spot right here, especially with the minutes restriction there. Seems like they might not be chasing wins here like they joke around with this Golden State Warriors. So it's interesting to see how this team is looking forward to ruining Steph Curry's legacy, you know what I mean, or his prime right now. And he has to be MVP to end up, getting these guys in the play-in again, or is it going to be, some real stuff? So hopefully Jordan Poole does play well. I am rooting for him, but it's tough, bro. It's tough. You need some guys out there.
Yeah, you do. You're going to need Poole to step up. You need Wiggins to have his good games, because he has his great nights, and then he has his absolutely invisible nights out there. You can't find him with a telescope on the basketball court some nights. So which version of Wiggins do you get? So question marks there. And, of course, as I mentioned, the chemistry for the Lakers with the new faces, question marks there. So it's what makes this game fascinating to watch. Who's going to put it together and have, a consistent performance level for 48 minutes tonight. Billy Briz, what do you like in this game?
This game kind of confuses me a little bit. When I look at the injury news report, we got Klay Thompson out, James Wiseman out, and Kuminga out, and Draymond limited. So it's just like, I'm going to have to hit the Curry stuff. I mean, 34% usage rating led the team last year. Next closest person in usage rating was only 24%. So it's Steph Curry. 1.40 fantasy points per minute, which would rank third or fourth out of the studs on tonight's slate. And he averaged a career high 5.8 rebounds per game without Klay Thompson on the floor. So I really like Curry here in this spot. The things that I wanted to hit on the Warriors, they're not giving to me, man. They're not giving to me. I guess my brain's a little fucked up. They say who watches NBA preseason? Well, I guess I do, because there's a couple of things that I really learned from this Warriors team. Like, for example, is Otto Porter about to take Kelly Oubre? Are we about to see Otto Porter play 30 minutes tonight like it's 2015 all over again? Because, like, for real, if you look at the projected lineup, if you say who replaces Kelly Oubre tonight, I think Otto Porter Jr., and the books aren't on that. I think that his overs on, like, let's say points, rebounds, and assists is probably going to be appealing on this team. I know everybody loves themselves some Jordan Poole, and so do I, because that man made me a lot of money in the last couple of weeks on NBA preseason. So much money that dude's leading for most improved player of the year. I guess Jordan Poole's about to be the two guard in this lineup. His stats last year in the second half of the season was pretty absurd, actually. 7 points per game and 2.3 3-pointers per game. His assist could be appealing if he's going to be on the floor without Steph Curry. But the number one thing I got to say that I have my eye on for tonight in this game on the Warriors side is there's preseason buzz about my former Sacramento King, Namija Bjelica. I've been hearing this dude in the Warriors preseason, Johns, has been really snapping. I actually watched the interview this morning before I did the NBA DFS video, and they interviewed Draymond Green. They asked him, like, how is Bjelica fit with the team this year? And he was like, to be honest with you, I didn't even think he was that good. He was doing stuff that I didn't even know he could do. So that means playmaking and stuff like that. And when they get to the closing lineup, you know Looney's not going to be in the closing lineup. Are we about to see a closing Warriors lineup with Draymond Green, Bjelica, fucking Wiggins, Jordan Poole, and Curry? That team sounds like they're going to go under on wins if that's the starting lineup for the year. But for tonight, I see a lot of sharps on it. Hey, if your book's got some Bjelica props, get on them early, bro, because he's going to be one of those people that you're going to see by week 2. He's going to be playing like 20-something minutes. You're going to be like, man, I don't know where the hell Bjelica came from. I thought he was out the league playing in Europe somewhere, in the Euro League or something like that. I didn't even know he was on the Warriors until I played preseason DFS. But when you go over to the Lakers side, I'm glad we got Wham on the show, because I was doing my projections this morning. And, bro, I have no idea who they're starting at center, because in a couple of dress rehearsals, I see that Jordan's getting a start. When I look at the ownership projections, Howard's getting a start. But in reality, like, Dwight Howard's trash. Like, and DeAndre Jordan's trash.
He's in there for fouls.
The trash rises to the top, I guess, in the LA Lakers centerpiece. I think, personally, if you're going to hit an Anthony Davis prop, you got to wait to see what the starting lineup is tonight. Because if they go out with a lineup with AD at the 5, because the Warriors go with a small ball starting 5, then Anthony Davis benefits the most playing at the center position than he does at the power forward position. Like, playing so much daily fantasy, his usage rating and his stats go up drastically when he plays center. So I don't know what they're going to do. In a couple of dress rehearsal games, you saw Kent Bazemore get the start when Monk wasn't in there. Monk got a couple starts in there. I think from a scheme perspective, like Dutch said, Monk would be the one you want to score the ball out there. He's the only one that can really create a shot. I didn't see Kent Bazemore on the floor for 30 minutes for the Warriors. That's why he's on the Lakers now. Like, I don't know what we're getting out of Kent Bazemore. Also, Carmelo Anthony, he could be sneaky tonight. His price tag's really cheap on DraftKings tonight. So I kind of started looking at Carmelo Anthony. And I was like, Melo might be that dude, man. It might not be 2008. He might not be at Syracuse, but, like,
you should have a big usage too.
15 to 18 minutes out of Carmelo Anthony. Like, you could do worse on this slate tonight. But ideally, I think I want to watch this game and get some answers to my questions, because there's a lot of questions to be had. Like, for example, like, Kendrick Nunn, is he going to take over the Dennis Schroeder role? Because if he's taking over the Dennis Schroeder role and he's coming off the bench, granted, I know he's not going to have a lot of minutes, but if you look at the preseason usage on the team, it was like LeBron said, sit down, Russ. You're a second guy on this team now. His usage rating plummeted through the earth during the preseason, and LeBron James was still the one that led the team in preseason usage with 31.6% throughout the preseason. So I think there's some value on the LeBron props, but my favorite prop for this game, I'm going to keep it for the best bet, though.
All right, good stuff. And, I was furiously typing while I was listening to Billy because I know he mentioned Porter, and I remember reading stuff about Otto Porter and what he's done in the preseason. What he's done in the preseason is score double figures multiple times, shoot the ball extremely well from long distance, from three-point range. I'm going to take a double dip, if you will, double jeopardy maybe if it doesn't work out, but double dip on Porter over 9.5 points and over 1.5 made threes tonight. In this game, and the over 1.5 made threes is plus 150.
Kelly Oubre was one of my favorite people to attack on the Warriors last year. If you could see my track list of most ROI person bets, it would have been Kelly Oubre over 1.5 3-pointers. I don't know what the book was doing for the first 3 months of the season, but it went from being plus 150 to the end of the season. He was at minus 175 for over 1.5. So I think that's the move, is Otto Porter over 1.5 for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Over 1.5 at plus 150 made threes for Porter. Over 9.5 points for the game as well. I like both of those actually because I'm reading it more and more. Like he definitely, Steve Kerr just went to him off the bench and gave him minutes as well. Played him in the preseason. And it was kind of like maybe a prelude as well to maybe what he's going to do with this Warriors lineup starting tonight in this regular season opener against the Lakers. So. No doubt, Otto Porter. Keep an eye on that. I'm gonna take the plunge there, over 9.5 points and over 1.5 made threes for him tonight for the Golden State Warriors, and we'll see if he gets that usage that we kind of expect he might. Great stuff, guys. Excellent breakdown of the two games with Billy, with Trot Wham, and with Dutch. Before we get to best bets and wrap up the show, we'll do a little baseball. We do have two baseball games tonight. Briefly break them down. Of course, you can tune into Sharpie and Connor Mack. They had MLB closing time earlier today. All I'm going to say briefly on the two games is for Houston, Boston, Greinke versus Pivetta. I'm just rolling with what I've been rolling with all series, and that's runs for two lineups that are crushing the ball right now. I don't trust either starter. Like Zach Greinke hasn't started in a long time, and he didn't pitch well in the second half of the year for the Astros. Both of these lineups have seen these relievers quite a bit. Now you're finally seeing an adjustment in the total. It's 10. Which is by far the highest total in the series. But I think we get there still. Astros, Red Sox over the total tonight at Fenway Park. The Braves and the Dodgers. I think the Dodgers with Buehler are going to win the game. I just don't want to lay minus 180 necessarily. But Morton didn't pitch well his last start against Milwaukee in the division series. So it's a guy that's had a good track record. I remember the Dodgers faced him too, I believe, just when was it? Recently, it was this last year actually, when he was with the Rays, I believe, Morton, in the World Series, and the Dodgers hit him around pretty good as well. So I worry about Morton a little bit. Didn't pitch well his best in the Brewers game the last time out. Dodgers have seen him enough. They hit him well the last time they faced him in the playoffs. So I think Dodgers get back in the series tonight. I just don't want to lay minus 180. And did you guys have any thoughts on the two MLB championship series games tonight? Dutch, did you bet anything? No.
No MLB for me, my man. Nothing.
I didn't do anything either.
No. Billy?
I'll speak for Wham and Dutch. Baseball still exists, bro. I thought it was basketball season.
Nah.
There you go.
I just feel too attached. I want to take the Dodgers. I would say that. I'll say I like the Dodgers tonight as well. I think that's probably the play, but
to be honest with you, if I didn't do the backstages for like some of the videos, bro, I wouldn't even know baseball even exists. Shouts to Sharpie and Connor, man. They've been making me a lot of money by just sitting there.
Well said, Billy. Well fucking said.
Tune into Sharpie and Connor, yes, for sure. For
shout out to our guy Eric Chang.
Closing time. Dodgers minus a half a run at even money first 5 innings.
That was the best.
I came close to betting that, but
load up on the
best bet from the PSR closing time show today was the Dodgers 1.5 or -1 run line, whatever the baseball people call it.
Yeah, there you go. I agree with that. It's good value if you like the run line, because I do think the Dodgers will find a way, get this to 2-1 in the series. And briefly, This ain't a hockey show, but I'll throw out a couple hockey picks that I bet tonight. Let's go with Vancouver in regulation, Florida Panthers money line, Winnipeg, Minnesota over, LA Kings plus 120 against Nashville, and Islanders Blackhawks over 5.5. So there you go. There's some puck picks from me as well. NHL action tonight on a nice 11-game Tuesday NHL slate. All right, guys, great stuff. We will get to best bets in just a second, but first we'll shut out everybody in the chat here. Eric Chang, Tony Cobbs, Sean Dozier.
I got a quick question for you though, Babano.
Yes.
Since we're in the gift of giving plays and shit, Dana White Contender Series tonight, fight card, 8:00 p.m. right in the middle of the basketball games. It will be on my small TV, not the big TV, but 2-leg parlay. If you want to put these two fighters on your parlays tonight with basketball, we are taking Pedro Falaco. He is from Brazil. He's about to beat the shit out of this dude. And we're going to take Caio Borrello, and we're going to go Team Brazil tonight, and we're going to parlay that with a bunch of the NBA props that we talked about. Dana White Contender Series tonight, 8 p.m. Make sure I'm telling you, man, sleep on the kid as show, man. We've been smacking this Contender Series in the UFC for like the last 3 to 4 months, where it's just so profitable. You can't not hop in the car.
He's on fire.
He's on fire. No, you got the NBA Jam voice. Yeah, he's on fire.
Stick and move. Yeah,
no, you're not the first person, Billy, to say that. I know there's like 5 or 6 people I know that follow UFC just every day. Like they're on top of every card, every fighter. They know what they're talking about, and they say they're just destroying lines left and right on these Contender Series cards. So it does not surprise me to hear you say that it's beatable, because there's a bunch of other people that have told me it's beatable as well. So good stuff there. A little UFC Dana White Contender Series action as well. A little hockey, a little baseball, and of course
3 hours till fight night, man. 3 hours till fight night.
Yeah, absolutely. No,
3 hours till tip off, right?
Yeah, Eric Chang's kind words again. Best NBA show bar none. And I'm noticing on YouTube, especially today, there's like multiple NBA shows popping off at the same time we do this show. So we got to up our game. We got to step up our game. We got to bring it every day. Get people interested. And Eric Chang, we thank you very much for the kind words. Maxwell Smart, Harold Williams, Ray Charles, Candace Soto, Sharky Waters Nation. We appreciate everybody. Not applicable. Gerald Jones, Whack Prescott, CAB, spanking the bookies. Brian Watson, Sharpie, of course. Tune into him and Connor on the MLB video from earlier today, closing time. Taylor MacArthur, Dave and Cal 48, Gerald Jones. I need money. We all do. Sirogi W, Use Lee, Rainbow the God, Only Bet the Plus. Everybody in the chat. Great turnout in the chat today. Wow. Juna Toivonen, I believe is how you say that, from Twitch. Welcome in. Patrick, everybody in the chat here. We go on down the Harold Williams, Poker Addicted 79, DC Sports Breaks. We've got lit picks. There we go. Everybody in the chat, we appreciate it. There we go. We got everybody. Thanks to everyone in the chat for joining us right here on the NBA Pub Hub. Best bets to wrap up the show in just a second. But first, we'll pause for messages from Manscaped and Southtown 101. All right. Southtown 101, when you're in San Antonio, Texas, great food, drinks, live music, DJs, karaoke. Make sure you stop in and visit Southtown 101. Manscaped promo code PubSports, 20% off your purchase with that promo code of Lawnmower 4.0. Any Manscaped product as well on the site. Check it out, manscaped.com. Promo code PubSports to get 20% off. And mybookie.ag, promo code PubSports. Of course, we've got football season still, lots left. We've got NHL underway, NBA tips off tonight, college basketball in a few weeks, baseball playoffs still going on, UFC you name it. MyBookie.ag, sign up for an account, Bitcoin, accepted currency for your deposit. Check it out, MyBookie.ag, promo code PubSports. All right, here we go, guys. Opening night, first night of NBA game action, and our first chance to cash a best bet. So let's make it count. Dutch, what do you got for best bet tonight?
Yeah, real quick shout out to Rainbow to God, man. I done brought the whole plane. It was a big one and it's gone a long time ago, my guy. John Lee, I see you, bro. Much love. Yeah, freshest look, man. Hey, I really like the James Harden look, but I'm not gonna give it out when it's like that gone. So we'll go with the KD. I really like this look. I'm gonna do the 30.5. I like the juice minus 105. If you can get a better number, get it. KD going for 35 plus. You tell me who's going to be out there stopping him. We know it ain't going to be Giannis's ass because I know that motherfucker's elite, but he got to go out the game every fucking 3 minutes. So we don't want to waste all his fucking energy on KD. Easy money, 35 plus, 30.5 minus 105.
There you go, KD, Kevin Durant, 30.5, over 30.5.
Sorry if I took it, Ram Bam, but you know.
Nah, you good, bro.
Best bet for Dutch. For first best bet, it's okay. Actually, if there's ever a time you want to have the same best bets, it's okay. I try to be different, but sometimes it's going to be so good where it's like I don't care that it's taken. I'm using it. It's that strong. Right. But sometimes
James Harden's moved too much. So
yeah, exactly. It's still a good number. Kevin Durant over 30.5 points. Trot Wham, best bet. What do you like?
I'll just keep it right where I'm at with the hometown, man. I'm going to say AD over 23.5 points. That's probably the best you could get right now. I'll say that AD over 23.5 points. I just believe he's going to have the matchup, and they're going to feed him, man. They're going to feed him. All the guys that they added to this bunch should be able to feed him, so that's what I like there.
There you go. Awesome. Liking it. Anthony Davis for best bet there. Trot Wham, Golden State and the LA Lakers. Billy Briz, best bet.
I'm going to take this time to shout outs to the new faces to the basketball team. We got motherfucking Trot Wham on the NBA Pub Hub show. We got Taylor Stuber, one of the best NBA daily fantasy players in the industry, on our NBA DFS show that airs out every day at 2 p.m. And then for NCAA basketball, we got Maxwell Smart. NCAA Countdown comes on 10 p.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And a happy birthday to my boy, Dutch Boy Fresh. Man, I'm telling you,
bro.
It's Halloween is around the corner, and it's getting spooky season on Pub Sports Radio right now because I don't know what Slaughter's doing, but, man, it's like we got the best cappers in the world on this team. I wouldn't want to be with anybody else. Shouts to the new faces that are family already, but I'm going to
start weeping like Gimme the Bag when we showed him that tribute video. Yeah, I'm going to start getting all teary-eyed.
Yeah, man, I feel like you got to make it unofficial, official. Like, officially, like, you're fucking with the best crew out there, man.
Yeah, shout out to Jeff Slaughter and Billy Briz, man.
Shout out to Lozano too, bro. For
real, my man.
One of our dudes in our Discord hit for a fucking $250,000 off a $9 FanDuel ticket. So when you think Pub Sports Radio might not be the best, man, start comparing numbers against the other companies, and we'll see who's the best out. But with that being said, my best bet tonight, I'm gonna have to go to my guy, Steph Curry, over 10.5. Rebounds and assists at plus 105 tonight. I'm putting a full unit on that one. If we want to go down narrative street, we're going to go down narrative street here. If you look at opening night for Steph Curry in 12 games so far, he's averaging 20.4 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 6.2 assists. So that means his points kind of drop down off his average, but his rebounds and assists go up, and that's due to the usage rating with Klay Thompson off the floor. And we get Draymond Green in limited minutes. That's going to mean Curry's going to have to do a little bit more offensively when it comes to rebounds and assists. He's going to have to be a little bit more active in there. I know there's a pace down spot for the Warriors, but still, it's a good prop to attack. It's my number one prop of the day. Steph Curry over 10.5 rebounds and assists at plus 105.
All right, like it there. Steph Curry, over 10.5 rebounds and assists. Best bet for Billy Briz on this Tuesday slate. And I'm going to stick, it's a prop kind of night. I'm going to stick with the props for my best bet. We're going to Russell Westbrook, over 3.5 turnovers, over 3.5 TOs, minus 115. I like it. It's this guy that averages close to 5 turnovers per game last season. It's a guy that I'm seeing on his preseason stat sheet, 6 turnovers, 7 turnovers. I mean, he had some real ugly turnover nights in the preseason for the LA Lakers. And look, this is a night where you can expect him to want to have a huge night and maybe do a little bit too much. That's the Russell Westbrook way a lot of times. And you could see him running into those same turnover issues, especially with a lot of new faces surrounding him in terms of the starting five that he'll be a part of. It could get sloppy. He could try to force things like usual and treat that basketball like a hand grenade is something he's used to doing. I think you're going to see it tonight. Russell Westbrook over 3.5 turnovers. Best bet for me on this Tuesday NBA card. And that'll wrap it up. Great edition of the NBA Pub Hub. We couldn't pack more analysis into this TNT opening night doubleheader than we just did. Thanks to Billy for joining us. You'll see him Tuesday and Thursday every week here on the NBA Pub Hub, giving us that little DFS angle, which is good because that helps you with player props as well.
Yeah.
Keep it young again.
Yeah, it's good to feel young. Yeah, this is feel young. You're right, exactly. I'm 40 is knocking on my door. It's right on my doorstep, and it's about to slam my door right through. So I'm not happy about that. So good to see younger people working with younger people as well. I enjoy that for sure. We will be back tomorrow, Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. It'll be me. It'll be Trot Wham, Dutch, and Ski Profit. We'll break down a huge Wednesday card. Big one on tap tomorrow. Lots of games, and we'll break it down for you. Keep in mind, we got Bebsy in the bag, right? Beat the line tonight right here on Pub Sports Radio, getting you ready for the NFL card, 8 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you tune in for that. Maxwell Smart with great college basketball content. He's ready for the season. He's put in the work. Not much better, if any better, than him at college basketball. He eats, sleeps, and breathes that sport, college basketball. So he'll get you ready for the start of the season right here on Pub Sports Radio. So we'll be back with you tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern for the NBA Pub Hub. Join us then. For Dutch, for Trot Wham, for Billy, this is Ian Cameron. Have a great Tuesday night. Enjoy the games and good luck. We'll see you again Wednesday right here on the NBA Pub Hub on Pub Sports Radio. Dutch, take us home.
Yeah, man. You know where it's at, Pub Sports Radio. Like our guy Ian did mention, we got a lot of competition out there. So we count on y'all to hit the motherfucking like button, share the video with your friends and fans, and tell these motherfuckers, Pub Sports Radio is where we hit them straight over the motherfucking head. Y'all stay fresh, stay blessed, and let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest.